I know that when you sit down to the piano and you want to play, that all the keys can seem really overwhelming. I'm here to show you some easy chords and some hand patterns that are going to sound beautiful like this every single time, so you can impress yourself and your family and friends easily, and the overwhelm will disappear. So we're going to start out today with our right hand. I'm going to show you some right hand positions that you are going to learn, and it's going to make it sound beautiful every single time. So we're going to start out with our 1, 3, and 5 finger on A, C, and E. This is an A minor chord. Then we're going to go to an F major chord. Now the notes of F major are F, A, and C. You'll notice that we have an A and a C. We're just missing the F, right? And the F is right close to this E. So all we're going to do is we're going to move our pinky up to there. So I have now my 1, 2, and 5 finger on A, C, and F. So that's the same thing, right, as if we do an F chord like this, but it was closer to where we were. That's called an inversion. It's just playing the chord in a different way. So we went from the A minor to our F chord. Then we're going to go to a C chord. A C is C, E, and G. We already have a C down. We have an E right here, so let's take that one. And then we have a G that's close by right here. So we're doing G, C, and E. This is a C major chord, but this is an inversion of the C major chords. All right, so let's do that again. We have A minor to F to C and then to G. And then we're just going to go right back to our A. So the way that chord patterns work with improvisation is that you just repeat them over and over again. But the question is, well, now that I have these chords, what exactly am I supposed to do with them, and getting both hands involved? And we're going to do that right now. So now in our left hand, we're going to do the same exact thing. It's just going to feel a little bit different because you're playing with your left hand. And if you're not automatically left-handed like I am, it feels a little bit funny sometimes. So now let's try to go from our A minor in our left hand. Then we're moving our thumb up for the F. And then we're moving down here for the C, and then to the G. And so you're going to try that a couple times in your left hand, just to make sure that you've got that. And then already we're going to put both hands together. So now all we're going to do is simply play the chords at the same time. All right, so we're going to go from our A minor to our F to C. Try that one more time. Doing those in block form. And now you see how our hands kind of just stay right here. They're not like moving all over. Now, as we go along in this, we're going to move our hand a little bit, but I want you to be comfortable in one spot before you move on. And also, I'm using my sustain pedal, which means that I am connecting my chords using the pedal. So if you've never done that before, give it a try. It just makes everything sound great. Okay, so now that we have the blocked chords and we know how to move our hands exactly, we're now going to play the notes individually. This is called arpeggiating, and it just means that we're going to start at the bottom or the top or somewhere in the middle and play all the individual notes. So for right now, we're going to go from the bottom to the top like that. And I'm going to hold them down once I have played them. And now let's go to our F, to our C, to our G. All right, so we're going to combine both of those patterns now. So I'm going to do an arpeggio from the bottom to the top, and then I'm going to play the chord, okay? Then play the chord. Play the chord. And then we'll end back on our A. Okay, so now that we have gotten used to playing with both hands, we're going to now start expanding the right hand. And this is where people get really scared, because for a long time when I first started improvising, I stayed in one place because it was natural. I had the chord forms that I was going to use, and I knew what to do right here. But to expand beyond to the rest of this keyboard was a little bit tough. So here's what we're going to do. So let's just look at the right hand for a minute. We're going to start here with arpeggios. But then instead of hitting the chord like this, we're going to look for the next A that we have. So our A is here, our next A is here, and that's where our thumb is going to go. So we're pointing, it's like an arrow that your thumb is going to the next A, and then we're going to do an octave up at the top, which is just A to A. So it'll sound like this. And then we'll do our next one. So our next one is an F, right? We have our A, C, and F. But the chord is the F chord. So the next F that we have is here. So that's where our thumb is going. So we're going like this. And then we're going to our C. Now our C was G, C, and E, but it is a C chord. So we're looking for the C. That's where our thumb's going. So we're going like this. And then to our G. The next G is here. And then we're going to end on our A. So let's look at what that whole thing is going to look like together. Okay, so that's what our right hand is going to do. Now in the left hand, to make it a little bit easier, we're going to do representative chords. And that means that instead of playing the chords exactly like the right hand, which is what we just did, even though I know that you're used to that now what we're going to do is we're going to do octaves in our left hand. So let's look at those because they do feel a little bit different. Now you get to decide where you want your octaves to be. For right now, this is middle C. I'm going to stay right here just so we can see it best. But we're going to go from an A to an F to a C to a G. And this is something that you might want to have a sticky note in front of you just so that you know where you're going every single time. But I want you to just practice this hands alone so you know where your left hand and your right hand are going before we try this. Okay, so now we're going to put everything together. I'm going to do it right here let's stay in the same octave that I was in before just because it makes more sense. And that means that our octave in the left is going to be down here. Okay, from our A, F, C, G, A. All right, so here's how it's going to sound all together. Now we move our chord to the F, to the C, so you can just stay there, and that is one whole pattern that you can do over and over again, and it's going to sound wonderful. You can even take everything up an octave. I want to show you how to do this as well. Also, don't mind the sunlight on my keys. It's a beautiful sunny morning here, and so the sun is coming and lighting up my keys funny, but you know, we can deal with that. Okay, so now I'm going to take just everything up an octave just so that you can hear how it sounds a little bit different, even just going up an octave. Let's hear how this sounds. Hear that? It just gives it a little lighter flavor to the improvisation. So what you could do is you could start here at the bottom and then you could do it up here, whatever you want to do. All right, taking a minute. How's it feeling? Hopefully this is not too overwhelming, but I'm going to show you one extra trick that's going to take what you're already doing and make it sound professional in a really, really easy way. So stick with me because that's up next. And if you've learned something from this video and are excited about trying more, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps my video be found by other people just like you. First, I want to introduce you to my little companion here. This is Gypsy. She's always in my videos, somewhere in the background. So it can be like a where's Gypsy thing. But I'm going to put her down now so we can continue on. Thank you, baby. So we can continue on with our improv. I'm going to take us back again to middle C just so that you can see the right hand patterns. And the one note that I'm adding is going to create tension, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. So let's start again with our A minor to our F to our C. And this is where our next note comes in. So where we're going is to our G, right? But instead of hitting that B, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the C first, and then we're going to resolve it down to the B. It'll sound like this. Hear that? So it's just adding one more little note. So let me show you what that sounds like all together. Hear that? So we're not going to do this every single time because that would be very predictable. But occasionally you can do that and it's going to sound great because it has added some tension to your piece. So then how do we put everything together? How do we make it creative? So the different choices that we have today are doing the stacked chords like this in any area of the piano. Okay, or we could do the arpeggios. Just keep it going. Or we can do the representative chords in the left and then doing the chord patterns in the right with an octave up here. So we're going to combine all of those things. This is not to overwhelm you. This is to give you choices that as you practice and these chord patterns become easier for your hand, you can then start expanding yourself, okay? So I'm going to create a little song right now that also includes this little suspended chord, and it gives us that little resolution. And let's hear how these chord patterns can create a beautiful song. Let me know in the comments below how it's working for you, and if using these chord patterns and expanding them is something that is growing your confidence, because that's what happened with me. If you like playing in this key and want to try another chord progression, go ahead and check this one out. I think you're going to love it.